All right, so we are back with Lisa Waters Lain in the studio. She comes each week with your gardening questions. What are other people talking about? Kind of a sedate week. It's kind of like the stock market. There's trading this at new highs this week, but it was low volume. So it's kind of we've been shut down for the Christmas through January season. Kind of gave the crew time off to spend time with family. Back at it on Monday, which seems like it's just like tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So thank you for my Christmas gift and Happy New Year's, my dear.
Wow,
New
thank
Year's,
you.
New Year,
New year.
New Year.
Year.
Yeah. Isn't it nice to have last year over with? Oh my gosh.
Let's hope 2022 is better than 21, which we
How can
thought
it-
was going to be better than 20. I guess it was.
I don't know if it was or not. I don't think it was. No, it wasn't. It's got more weird is what it did. We
Yeah.
did 2022, 2020. You felt like everyone's going to die. And we found out some friends did. And then 2021, we figured we could live, but then everything's all screwed up in business wise, governments, leadership, it's a supply chain, all these weird ripples just went through. So it just you didn't know how to operate. Everything was abnormal. This year, you just never know. Every year is different.
You don't know, but you know what people need to do?
Garden more. Take a deep breath. Medicate.
That's your answer to everything.
Take up
Just
drinking.
Garden more. Well, you can drink and garden.
There's nothing better than a glass of wine in a vineyard.
Ooh, yeah.
I
That's
mean,
true. Or your own yard.
So for when we launched one of our kids to college, she went to Fresno Pacific in Fresno, of course, Christian college right there in the middle of that Central Valley. And so we drove her there and said, honey, we're going to drop you off to college. We're going to borrow your car till we go to Monterey. We went up to the Redwoods, back around to Sacramento. So our first home we ever bought, came back down, dropped it off a week later and said, how was college? And it flew off to a business meeting after that. It was awesome. But one of them, Napa, we biked around Napa. So you sample the wines, bike to the next vineyard. It was super fun.
That
Just
was fun.
so much fun. I would do that
one
again. Yeah, done. Book it.
Okay. Tomorrow.
So, what do we have garden-wise? What are people talking about as far as questions?
Well, sure.
Everything good?
People are still thinking gardens. Gardeners always think gardens. So, well, we have a question from Brenda in Prescott. She bought some frost protectors to go around some of her more cold sensitive plants.
Okay.
Question is, can she just leave them on through the winter, or do they need to be on off kind of thing?
So I don't know what a frost protector is. I'm imagining it's either a mini hoop house or some fabric that she's probably usually white fabric as frost cover. And so it just depends on if it's got foliage, don't leave it on. If it's just bare, that is just twigs, it's deciduous, it lost its leaves, gone dormant, you could probably leave it on. So it just depends on what it is. Quite honestly, most deciduous plants, they're pretty cold hardy. They don't need that. So you probably she's dealing with really borderline stuff. So funky cacti out from Phoenix, barrel cactus, that kind of stuff. You can cover those. I would say they need the sun. So I would take it off during the day, let them get sun, let them warm up, and then put it back on at night. Night is when the damage is going to happen with those really borderline things. If it's things like lettuce, your cool season garden stuff, those things can almost go without any cover, although they would produce even stronger, better, more if you could cover it at night. And so, or keep the snow off. It just, that snow actually covers it where the flavor comes out. It's better, but it can't see the sun, so it doesn't grow as fast. So photosynthesis stops while it's cold like that. So you can keep that off of them. It'll be better. So come see us more. Bring a picture, cell phones. We can help you get more exact detail than just should it take it off or not? What's the plant? I don't know. Where is it? It's north, south, east, west. I don't know. Plus, we like talking to gardeners in winter. We need someone to talk to.
We have a neighbor. We've been walking the dogs. One of our neighbors re-landscaped last summer, and he put in more cactus, things like that. And I'm really curious to watch how they do this winter because some of them I know to be borderline golden barrel cactus.
Right.
Usually we just say indoors, indoors, indoors. So it will be quite interesting to see how those things go through the winter here.
We have some Mediterranean mounds, which are very specialized,
Mhm.
very unusual cacti.
Mhm.
We've got some red fishhook barrel cactus.
Mhm.
Really, that's a barrel with like sex appeal. It's really pretty. My God, red tips that curl.
Yeah,
It's
pretty
really
cool.
neat. Palm trees. We
Mhm.
just bring them up close to the house underneath that overhang. Go,
Right.
yeah, winter over here because there ain't no room in the house for you. This is for company and Christmas trees and decorations and celebrations, not for a palm tree.
Right.
If you die outside, fine. And it's been doing that. It's been growing for
3
years.
4 years.
Yeah. We've got a banana, hardy banana that we're testing.
Yeah.
Looks like it's going to come back.
It's actually done well.
Yep. It's underneath the deck, basically, outdoors, up
Right.
against the house. So
Goes completely dormant in the wintertime.
Yeah. It's like a
nothing
perennial.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So fun to play with those kind of things, but don't count on them coming back all the time.
Yeah.
All right. Next question is from Sandy. She's looking forward to next spring as well.
Me too, Sandy.
And she would like to put in some blueberries. So
Yeah.
her question is, what's the best place for them in the yard? Best soil type? How many do you need? Just kind of a general overview.
So blueberries, how to grow better blueberries. Blueberries do better in pairs. So they're kind of like fruit trees. They pollinate each other.
Mhm.
There's a few that do it by themselves, but even those will do better with a buddy. So buy 2 different types of blueberries. That's a secret.
Mhm.
And then there's some that do better in this southern exposure. There's lots of Minnesota, Wisconsin. They're cold hardy. So and they will grow here, but it's not so much that, it's the dryness and that kind of stuff. So, and then do you have size? Do you have room? Some of them get really big, so they're coming out with new dwarf varieties. The real secret with blueberries that's different than, let's say, a raspberry or a blackberry. They like really acidic soil. So blackberries, they don't care. They'll take any kind of soil. Alkaline actually brings out the flavor more. They're kind of like grapes. They'll take that alkalinity. Raspberries, the certain ones really produce well with alkalinity. Not blueberries. They like acid. They want solid acid soil, and that's where they grow wild up in the Midwestern areas. So make sure you got a soil that's real rich, peaty, compost, really organically rich. Don't just take a blueberry and throw it in your backyard and expect it to grow and thrive. It won't. It'll turn yellow, anemic. It won't produce berries. If they are, they're really small. But if you put it in a raised bed, there it's where it's going to really thrive. A container, just a big pot with regular potting soil, a peat moss rich. Peat moss is very acidic, which blueberries, they love that. And then whenever you're fertilizing, make sure you fertilize with an acidic type of soil. So that's where our all-purpose food, it's got a lot of soil sulfurs and things, cottonseed meal, things that make it more acidic. Blueberries, things that like acid will respond to that. I would say the same thing holds for hollies, hydrangeas. There's a whole series of plants that love azaleas. They love more acidic kind of soil. So plan for it. You can give them acidic soil if you think ahead of time and prep the soil, then plant them. If you just chuck them out in the yard, that's when they struggle. They get off color, they get yellow.
So what would you say for light? Kind of maybe more eastern exposure or afternoon shade, or so full sun okay?
They'll take full sun. I would say more sun equals more berries. I would say give them at least 6 hours. They won't take in the full shade, or they'll be pretty, but they won't form the berries. They need to have that photosynthesis to really produce the fruit that you want. So we've had ours right out there on the patio of all things in the full sun.
It's true.
But it had great soil. It had water's potting soil, which is peat moss. And so it produced and grew for years.
True.
All right, so we are out of time. Ken and Lisa Lain, the Mountain Gardeners. Be right back right after this.